Well, in honor of this film and reviewing this movie for this video, I've decided to light this video by the title of this movie. Moonlight. Get it? I'm being lit naturally with moonlight. Forget it. Turn the lights on. Let's get on with it. Hey there, guys. What's up? What's going on? It's all about my gay teen here. Forget that awful joke, guys. I don't know. Guys, wow. I gotta take a couple seconds. I really want to review this film, and I'm going to in this video, of course, but I gotta take a couple seconds. Of course, guys, if you couldn't already tell, the movie I'm gonna be reviewing in this video, I finally seen it. That's right. It's Moonlight. Got a poster here. I'm in my car, though. I'm not in my normal surroundings, and I feel awful about that. But I'm going to explain. So, guys, really quick, really brief. It's Monday, or now it's early Tuesday morning, November 8th. It's Election Day. I'm so glad it's Election Day in a way. No, I'm not looking forward to this election, but I'm off tomorrow. I don't have school. It's my first day off all semester. I know. Guys, I haven't uploaded a video in 2 weeks, and that is very rare for me. I know that usually when I get busy, I at least try to get a video up, at least one video a week. It is incredibly rare for me to not upload anything for 2 weeks straight and just not tell you guys, or just not, yeah. So, I apologize about that in advance, guys. I have been immensely busy with work at school, and just other events going on in life, and I just haven't really had the time to sit down and shoot videos, so I apologize about that. I just want to let you guys know that I'm getting this up as soon as I finish shooting this. It's 12:43 in the morning. I just got out of the theater like about 40 minutes ago, and I'm back in my hometown area, and I'm gonna review this film, but I'm gonna upload this right after, because I have to get something up to you guys, because I feel awful. So that said, I just want to thank you guys for being the best and for being so patient with me and just understanding that I'm just really busy and I just don't have time. And it really means a lot to me. So guys, thank you so much. And I apologize really deeply for just not being alive on YouTube. Anyway, guys, that said, I finally got to... I haven't seen a movie in 2 weeks. I haven't actually sit down and watched a film in 2 weeks. Almost 3 weeks. It would have been 3 weeks had I let this go any further. But I finally watched a film, and the film I have watched is Moonlight. If you guys couldn't tell, a Letterboxd site post most anticipated. I don't know if I talked about this film in other videos, but I was really buzzing Moonlight. Not just because it's been getting a lot of critical buzz, of course, that's definitely a factor for me, but also because of hello A24. Yeah, best company working today, whether it's film distribution, whether it's production company, I don't care. They're the best. Okay, there you have it. I feel their films are just unique and innovative, and I just am speechless every time I go to their movies. So I was really pumped for Moonlight, and I'm so glad I finally got to see it. So guys, let's just get right into the review. Let me talk a little bit about this film. I know most of you have probably already seen it. It still, I think, is in a limited release, so maybe some of you have not gotten a chance to see it yet. If you haven't, then it's okay. Just go see it, because it's really good and deserves your time. So, guys, Moonlight is, how am I going to describe this? I really want to be because the trailers really didn't give a lot away in terms of exposition, but if you really, pay close attention to the trailers, you could definitely tell, where the film is going and, what it's about. But I'm going to just, give you a brief synopsis without really spoil. I'm sorry, I thought my phone went off. I don't know. Without spoiling anything major, I want to keep this I want you guys to go into this movie very cold. I think that would honestly add to the experience. But this film is essentially 3 decades in the life of a young man named Chiron. I'm sorry. And he is this young black man living in, I believe it's Florida, and the film follows him throughout his childhood, throughout the first act, his teenage years, or I should say just him as a teenager in the second act, or the second decade of his life. And the third decade of his life, the third act of the film, is through his adulthood. And essentially, we see this young boy grow to become this young man and dealing with several issues, personal issues with other people, issues in terms of his own identity and everything. And that is all I really want to say about this film. Issues with people he knows in life, whether it be his mother or just a father figure that he grows close to. That is all I'm going to say about Moonlight. That's it. I know, that's so vague, and you guys are like, Mike, what the hell? That wasn't anything. Give us more. Guys, I'm just going to encourage you to just go out and see this film for yourselves, because it's that good, and yeah, go see it. So guys, Moonlight, let's cut to the chase. I really, really enjoyed this movie. Is it a shock? Were any of you thinking, is Mike really gonna not enjoy Moonlight? Is he gonna hate it? No, I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. It was definitely worth the wait for me. I'm just glad I finally got to see it. It's like Oscar season, and I'm not caught up with movies, and I'm sad. So guys, Moonlight, what works about this film? Because it's so easy to look at a movie like this and say, well, we've seen this before. Like, we've seen the themes throughout this film before. We followed this type of character before. This, like, young boy growing up, going through different transitions in life and different problems in life and different problems with people that he comes across. We've seen it done before. Most recently, I really don't want to compare it. I'm not going to compare it at all. I'm just going to bring up a point. We've had Boyhood, of course, and I believe we even had a Girlhood movie, I think, at one point. I think they actually, I haven't seen that movie, but, so, I mean, like, I'm pretty, and again, that's coming from me not having seen it, but we've had instances where we've, seen films following characters growing up over a certain span of time. You could even say the same for The Place Beyond the Pines, which, one of the main actors in this film, Mahershala Ali, starred in that film. I was going to bring that up when I talked about him, but you could even look at that movie as that, just different time periods and following characters growing up and aging, essentially. So, I mean, we've had that. We've had that before in films, but what Moonlight does that makes it special for me, apart from Barry Jenkins, who's the writer-director, his solid and surefire direction, his camera choices, his camera work, just his screenplay in general, and everything else that went with the film that made it great, from cinematography to score to acting and performances, to even pacing at that, I feel made Moonlight shine. But what I really enjoyed about this film was the subject matter. Again, as I've said, it's something we've seen done in other movies before, but specifically, I feel that this film is very relevant now, and it is speaking to a certain young group of people, like my age, my demographic, my age specifically. I feel it is speaking to anyone who's had any sort of struggle with coming to terms with your own insecurities and your own fears, and just trying to find a way to self-identify you, essentially. And I feel that is what made Moonlight really, really solid for me, and really just like emotionally arresting and visually just stimulating in terms of where the camera was placed and shot design and just the style of shooting in general. I really bought into and I really enjoyed. But that's what made Moonlight work for me. I mean, I feel that this film is incredibly culturally relevant and tackles so many issues stemming from just personal sexuality, the use and abuse of drugs, just like bullying, insecurities, just general insecurities, just having loved ones who just sort of stray away from you and maybe aren't as supportive or as there for you as they should be. just having father figures and just talking in general, just having conversations, being social, being a part of society. I feel that this film tackles all of that stuff incredibly well, which is why it's personally one of my favorite movies of the year, and one of the more important films that everybody should probably go and see this year, because of just what it says and how it depicts what it's trying to say in a very, very intelligent and very, very, what I feel is going to be relatable way. Because I know people who are dealing with the struggles that the character in this movie is dealing with. I myself could relate to an aspect of the character in this movie, just trying to find yourself in just the grand scheme of things. And I feel like that just really hit home for me in general in this movie. But that's just like what I love about it. So moving on, what I want to talk about the specifics, other aspects of this film that made it great. Let's just briefly tackle Barry Jenkins's writing and directing. As I've said, I feel that the themes are very rich and very important and culturally relevant today, which is what makes the script very solid and stand out for me. In terms of his directing, I love his style. I honestly bought into it. I think the entirety of the film is shot handheld. There are very few static shots. But that always gives me the idea that there's always just like something going wrong, or there's just always some sort of high energy between the actors or the characters within the film. And I really just loved all of his choices in terms of movement and everything. And that handheld feel to it without making it like, like that. But I feel that just added to the experience of this film being feeling very genuine and coming across as very authentic. Not only in its content, but in terms of its style. And I feel that was very important in terms of how they shot it. So the cinematography is flat out gorgeous. I love the use of colors in this movie. The lighting is absolutely phenomenal. I loved utilization of like street lights and everything, and of course the utilization of Moonlight, of course. But no, the film is incredibly well shot. One of the best looking films of the year for sure, as of now, by far. To get into another one of the best components of this film is without a doubt the performances. Guys, the performances in this movie are year bests. Some of them are year bests for me as of now. Particularly, I want to single out Naomie Harris. I'm going to look at the poster because I'm forgetting his name. But all three of the actors who played Chiron in this film, holy crap, all three of them were amazing. Particularly Ashton Sanders. Wow, that kid can act. He played the teenage Chiron, and I think there's 4 scenes alone are deserving of giving this kid Oscar consideration. Holy shit, he's on fire. That for me was the most emotionally powerful and emotionally charged chapter of this boy's life, because it's told in 3 chapters: childhood, being a teenager, and then being an adult. And I feel that for me, especially the conclusion of that chapter and the way it was shot, just the energy and the fluidness of the shots and just the I really bought into all of that incredibly well, and I was incredibly visually arrested with what was going on. But getting back to the acting, yeah, the kid is amazing. He really is. Ashton Sanders did an amazing job in this film. Naomie Harris, it pops in and out throughout the film, but there's one scene that she stole so well and depicted as a character who's going through a sort of like struggle with using and abusing drugs. I feel that there is a scene between her and Ashton Sanders. It's one of the best acted scenes of the year, and Naomie Harris pulled it off flawlessly. That scene alone is deserving of her receiving Best Supporting Actress consideration. She was amazing. She was absolutely flawless, and I 100% bought into that character, even though they didn't fully delve into it, and they could have probably gone even further. But again, this film was told from Chiron's perspective, so a lot of what's going on is him not seeing what the mother's actually doing, just maybe seeing like the aftermath or like the starting point of it. But I loved it, and I love the little nuances they gave her character. And just I feel that they portrayed her type of character incredibly accurately. Very, very well done. And then even the father figure character to Chiron within the first act, Marshala Ali, who was in films like The Place Beyond the Pines, as I've said, and he was also in recently Mockingjay, the Hunger Games Mockingjay films. I thought he was amazing as well. I loved the dynamic between the two of them. Once they met on screen and once they started sharing more and more scenes, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to buy into this relationship right away, but specifically why their characters are together, their background, and just how they connect really, really worked for me. The scene where they're at the beach really hit me incredibly well, and I thought was gorgeously shot. Wow, just amazing, amazing work. And yeah, I think just all the performances in general are flat out phenomenal. The pacing is really good in this movie. I think the score is very haunting and very chilling, and I feel it works incredibly well for this story and this material. And for the places where it feels haunting and chilling, those scenes came across that way to me, and I feel that that's why the score works. So excellent, excellent work on that part as well. So guys, just I think that's everything I loved about this film. I don't know what else Barry Jenkins has done, but I really could see this guy going places after having directed this film. I was really in love with it from beginning to end. If I had to name any flaws I had with Moonlight, I would say during maybe two of the transitions between the decades there, or one in particular, there's maybe like two characters who kind of just like are in one of the decades and then they just like disappear and we just like never hear from them again, except for like one moment where they're brought up. Apart from that, and I was just like, I was into that character, they're gone. Okay, gotta get used to that, but alright. I felt like that was a little like out of nowhere and felt a little jarring. Other than that, literally everything else worked for me with this movie, guys. I highly recommend it to you. It's one of the best films you're going to see all year. A24 has done it again. Barry Jenkins has given us one of the best directed and probably one of the best written films of the year as well. This is a very, very unique, very emotionally charged, emotionally powerful, sometimes gut-wrenching, very authentic, relatable film that I feel a lot of you guys should rush out and see if it's at a theater near you. So for that reason, that said, guys, I am going to give Moonlight a solid grade of a 9.5 out of 10, or a grade of an A. That's right, I love Moonlight that much. It's definitely one of my favorites of the year, and I think it's something you guys definitely should go check out and go see. So there you have it, guys. That is all I have to say about Moonlight. It's late. It's about 1 in the morning now. Yay, I'm gonna go upload this after I finish filming this. I'm gonna go right home after this, guys, and get this up to you. Once again, guys, I apologize for being inactive, but I'm gonna do my best over the next couple weeks to get you videos that just have been lacking, and I apologize for delays. And thank you guys for being patient. Guys, if you've seen Moonlight, what have you thought of it? Let me know down below in the comments. If you haven't seen it, definitely I would recommend it to you guys. So there you have it, guys. That's all I have to say in this video. I'm going to get going, get this video up to you. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you as always for watching. Bye, guys.